Spring MVC, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what advantage you see in Spring Boot comparing to Spring?
Yeah, so basically you can say the Spring Boot is the standalone application. Earlier, what we have to do in J2EE web application, normal MVC and Spring MVC, we have to explicitly configure the server like Tomcat server, any WAS application, WebSphere application server. But in Spring Boot, they have provided two, I think. Tomcat server and other is I forgotten the them. There are two to three server which they have maintained the inbuilt so that we do not have to configure the server explicitly. And they are providing the inbuilt database memory like whenever we run the application and we require some database, so we can configure through the package by including the package to the package in which the basic what we need, the basic dependency which requires to create a simple Spring Boot application is already in the parent Spring Boot starter parent jar.
Okay. So,
So in
what
Spring yeah. Hello.
what's the use of starters in Spring Boot? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Actually, I'm so sorry because I'm facing here the network issue. So maybe there will be the lagging. Yeah, you can continue the question.
Okay. So, what is the use of starters in Spring Boot?
Yes. So
Starters.
yeah, yeah. So the starter pack is it helps to resolve the it helps to bring the package which is the basic package required to create the Spring Boot application, and also the it resolves the dependency issue. Suppose if we are using some Tomcat version of lower a lower version and our Spring Boot is of a higher version and all, so it will give the dependency of all jar which is matching with our Spring Boot current version or the version matching to the application.
Okay. So, which starter has the internal Tomcat? Embedded Tomcat, right? So
Yeah.
we have embedded Tomcat in Spring Boot. Which starter has that?
Spring Boot starter web.
Okay. So what is the use of Spring Boot starter parent?
Spring Boot starter parent, it will give the basic. I said it will give the basic dependency for the Spring Boot application, and also resolve the dependence version issue of other dependent jars and all.
So what is the use of Spring Boot application annotation?
Application annotation, yeah. So it is help to remove the unnecessary, what we will not say unnecessary record, like for logging, for transaction, for the security purpose. It will give the it will provide the extra features to the application without using without letting the developer to do extra code for those features, rather than developer will focus on the business logic. So there are some
Okay.
inbuilt.
So do you know what annotations it comprises? Do you know what annotation does Spring Boot application have? So it has
Yeah, yeah,
three
it is
annotation. Do you know
yeah,
what are
yeah.
that?
Yes, it is combination of three what you say, three annotation. One is the enable auto configuration, at the rate configuration, and at the rate component.
It's component or component scan.
Sorry, component scan.
Okay. So you know, so what is the use of component scan, right?
Yeah, so component is can suppose if my what you say, this Spring Boot starter application class file, the where the Spring Boot initialize the application, it is in the same package, then we so the by default the Spring Boot automatically scan the those packages only. Okay, but suppose if we have some other package, so we need to explicitly tell to the application or configuration file that yeah, this is my package and there are some component we need to what you say the scan we need to scan those component while initializing the application and make it available all those component being in.
You said like, see, we have to provide packages, right? Base package for component scan. Okay. So as you are using Spring Boot application annotation, we are not going to use component scan because it internally has. Correct. So what default base package it will consider?
Yeah, default base package it will consider in which the what you say the starter application file is there.
Okay. So which is the start package which will have that starting point of that application?
Starting point of the application is when we load the spring boot application dot class file.
Okay. So where you will have this? So in which class you will have that Spring Boot application annotation?
Where we used to write the added spring boot start application, that is the what you say the main method, like we have normal main method in that, that is the main method of the spring boot application, where we write added annotation as spring boot application. From that class it will take the
That's fine.
to compile the spring boot application.
Okay, fine. Okay. So, did you use a Spring JDBC or Spring JPA?
Actually, I have. Let me tell you one thing that I have not. I have not written the. I have not used Spring Boot in my industrial experience. I have learned by myself. So in that I have used only JPA to create a small. What you say the small POC. So right now I'm learning Spring JDBC and all.
Okay. So, okay. So, Spring Boot will automatically establish a DB connection, right?
Yes.
So it will establish a DB connection and it will load the JPA object and then JDBC template object. Okay. So what from your side you have to provide to Spring Boot to auto configure all this stuff? So what you will provide from your side?
Okay, so what I have done is that I have used the S2 in memory database, and in the what in
Yeah,
pom.xml I added the
you can.
dependency and yeah.
Yeah, leave that. You can ignore you can ignore the pom.xml, ignore the dependencies, right? So apart from dependencies, what other stuff you will or configuration you will do to establish a DB connection?
Yeah, so in properties we have to configure the username, password, and the delete whatever we are using, like Oracle or MySQL or some MongoDB kinds of stuff. Then in the JPA we have to write the at the rate repository, and we have to give the table what you say the class entity class name, and in that class name there are.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, do you need to follow any specific naming convention to declare your username password of the DB? So, like it should auto configure, right? So, for that we have to follow any specific keyword to declare your like DB username, URL, password.
Yeah, it is like spring dot data source dot username, spring dot data source dot password, something like that.
That's so. Did you use Spring Security? So, you have any knowledge on Spring Security side?
Right now I'm learning all these things, so I can't say that I have much knowledge on spring security. Yeah, but by using the dependency we can valid what you said, without creating the login form, and when we use the spring security dependency in our application, then by default one login page will be there, and in application dot property we can or in what is XML file configuration file we can give the username and password, and we can create the multiple user pools, like if multiple application having multiple username and password, we can give that things to that. So all these things can be handled by the spring security, so I'm in learning stage of it.
Okay, fine. So, so you have any experience in writing REST services using Spring Boot?
Yes, yes, yes,
REST
yes.
service endpoints. Okay. So what is a controller and controller? and the rest controller annotation.
What is controller and rest controller annotation? Okay, so
Yeah, what is the difference?
yeah, so basically, arrest controller is the combination of two annotation like the address controller and address the response body. So when we write the address rest controller, then we do not we do not need to write address what you say the response body explicitly to each method. So okay, so and address controller we need to write the address response body, so it can so that it can give the required response to the request URI or API.
Yeah, yeah, fine. So what will be the response when you use address controller? So what response you will provide?
By
The
default
default
it is
response you will provide.
JSON. By default it is JSON file.
Okay. JSON, fine. So in case instead of JSON, I want an XML as a response. Okay. So what changes you have to do in your REST endpoint method?
Yeah, we need to define the content type in method. We have to give the what type of response we need, the content type, whether it is plain XML or JSON and all.
Yeah, what annotation inside what annotation you will use
At
that,
the
right?
rate produce, at the rate produce, I think.
Yeah, that is attribute. So at the rate produce, okay, at the rate produce you can use. And what are the HTTP methods you have used?
HTTP methods like get, put, post, delete.
Okay. So do you use that path variable annotation and request param annotation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, give me an example, just an example. See, for example, you are having a endpoint to get the student information. Okay, so which is a student is the context.
Hmm?
Okay, now you have to pass student ID and name in the URL. Okay, consider ID is one and name is Preeti. Okay,
Yes.
so that from that URL, I should get the ID through path variable annotation, and then name through request param annotation. Okay, so how the URL will be? Now tell me the sample URL how it will be.
Okay, I'm sending, I'm writing in the message.
Yeah, sure.
ID will be the path variable, isn't it?
Yeah, ID should be retrieved through path variable annotation and name should be retrieved through request param annotation.
Something like this.
Okay. So okay, I said student, but use the
Oh,
employees.
sorry,
Okay, fine.
sorry.
That's fine. Okay. But I said ID value is one. So will you pass one there or you pass like this?
I will pass like this. Stud one name equals to XYZ.
Okay, fine. That's fine. So you worked in Spring MVC, right?
Your voice. Yeah, what did you say?
Breaking.
Yes.
No, no, you worked in Spring MVC, right?
Yes, yes, Spring Embassy.
Okay. So, what is the use of dispatcher servlet?
Dispatcher server, when URL come sorry when we, when HTTP request come, so dispatcher server, it is like the front controller. It will map the what you say the map the classes which are going to handle those requests by matching the pattern of the URL and the class, and after that it will redirect those requests to the specific class and method, so that it can handle it. So dispatching the request to the required classes is the main what you say the main role of the front controller dispatcher
Class.
server.
Yeah, yeah. So this request it will request request URL to the corresponding controllers, right? Instead of classes. Instead of saying classes,
Yes,
it's a
yes.
controller.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So now once it reaches the controller, it will reach the service and we will perform DB operations. So
Mm-hmm.
after doing that, we have to load the corresponding UI page. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, what concept it will use to identify the exact view, whether HTML or JSP, it should identify. So what is the concept it will use?
Okay, so in our application or property, sorry, in our configuration file, we can use the prefix or suffix. What you say, the we can configure what would be our prefix and what would be other prefix would be like what where in which folder
Yeah,
our JSP
yeah,
file is.
that yeah, that is fine. But what is the name called? What is the concept? So having this
Model and view basically we object we can use to resolve the view
yeah,
and
no, I am asking what is that concept? Yeah, you are explaining how to display the view. Okay, exact view. But what is that concept? See, you will be providing a prefix and suffix. Okay, by creating a bin, and inside that bin you will be having a property as prefix and suffix, and you will provide the type of file and the location of the file. Okay, so what bin you will create there? That's what I am asking. What
mo-
bin you will create? For which class you will create bin?
model and view class.
So you heard of view resolvers.
Views, yeah, view resolver.
So what view resolver will use this prefix and suffix? There are different types of view resolver. What view resolver uses prefix and suffix?
What view resolver will actually I'm not able to get the correct question. I'm not sure what you are asking. View resolver we will use, and model and view is the object class object where we have to give the name of the what you say the name of the JSP
That
file.
name, that the view. Yeah,
Mod
we will give the name of the view,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, I am asking, there are different types of view resolvers. Okay, so what type has the one which you said, right? You will providing prefix and suffix. Okay, so what type of view resolver will have that prefix and suffix attributes? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, actually I have used in properties file and configuration file only, where we give the property file name that I forgot the exact property name of that.
That's fine. Okay, there are different view resolver. The one which you mentioned is internal resource view resolver, which
Okay,
has the prefix and suffix.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
fine. Okay, so what version of Java you have used?
I have used 1.7. I have not got a chance to work in 1.8 because my current project basically on Angular from front end and Node.js from back end. So there is no Java in my current project.
So you have idea on what are the features available in Java 8?
Yes, yes.
Can you mention some?
Yeah.
What are the features in Java 8 compared to 7?
Yeah, so basically in Java 8 we are focusing on the rather than functional programming. So for the functional programming, functional interface and stream come to the lambda expression, all these terms comes into the picture, and we can have the default method in our interface. There are some date and time API introduced in Java 8.
Okay. So, okay. Last question. Like, consider a array of random numbers. Okay.
Yes.
Consider an array that has a random numbers. So, I want the second largest number from that array. So, how will you do that? What the logic you will apply here?
Second largest array in from the
Array. You can take array or array list, whatever you want. I need the second largest number from a list of array or list or array list, which has a integers, random integers.
Okay. So first we can use inbuilt method, like we can sort the method, or if in stream we can sort in stream also we can what to say we can sort the array, and we will give the index second index or one for second index of to give the second largest array. or by using or comparable comparator object, we can sort the array first, and then we can give the index second, which having the index or second largest array number.
So give me an example for one example for checked exception and one example for runtime exception.
One example of checked and one example of
Runtime exception.
null time exception is the null pointer most common, or checked exception is like file not found exception is the checked exception. All IO exception are the checked exception.
That's fine. Okay. So that's it from my side, Priti. So any queries from your side?